Have you noticed how truly difficult it is to simply be here without reaching for a thought? The moment things get still, your brain starts looking for a problem. Check your phone. Remember that embarrassing thing. Plan everything that could go wrong next week. This part of your mind, which Eckhart Tolle calls the ego, has a deep resistance to the present moment. In this video, we'll dive into why your ego hates stillness so much and, more importantly, how to gently disarm it so you can finally taste what presence actually feels like. When Eckhart Tolle talks about the ego, he's not talking about confidence or liking yourself. The ego, in his language, is the sense of self you build out of thought, your past story, your future plans and fears, your roles, the successful one, the broken one, the strong one, the victim. It's the voice that says, "This is me, this is my history, this is what I deserve, this is how people must see me." The problem is, this egoic self can't exist in the present moment, right here, right now, without past and future, without story. You are just here, breathing, sensing, existing. In that simple I am, there is nothing to defend, nothing to compare, nothing to improve. For the ego, that feels like death, so it constantly pulls you out of now to keep itself alive, back into the past. Look what they did to me. Look how I failed. This is who I am. Forward into the future. What if I lose? What if I'm rejected? One day I'll be happy, but not yet. The more you are in your head, thinking about yourself, your story, your problems, the stronger the ego feels. The more you relax into this moment, just feeling the breath, the body, the sounds in the room, the weaker it feels. That's why your ego hates the present moment, because here, without constant thinking, it starts to lose its grip. And that's exactly why the present moment is where your real freedom begins. Once you start to see what ego is, you can also start to see how it operates. It doesn't usually shout, "Hi, I'm the ego, here to ruin your peace." It uses familiar tricks that feel like just me thinking. Here are some of its favorites. 1. Past replay, feeding on old stories. You're washing dishes, walking, scrolling, and suddenly your mind plays a movie from years ago. The thing they said, the mistake you made, the moment you felt small, rejected, embarrassed. You feel the same anger, shame, or hurt, as if it's happening again. Ego loves this because it keeps your identity glued to the past. This is what they did to me. This is why I'm like this. This is my story. Nothing in the present moment changed, but inside you're living somewhere else. 2. Future fear, living in what if. You're sitting in a safe room, but inside you're already in next week, next month, imagining everything that could go wrong. What if I fail? What if they leave? What if it all collapses? Your body reacts as if those things are happening right now. Ego loves this too, because it keeps you busy planning, controlling, worrying, and as long as there's a problem to solve, it feels important and necessary. 3. Drama and roles, turning life into a stage. Ego also pulls you out of presence by turning ordinary moments into identity roles. I am the one who is always overlooked. I am the one who is right and they are wrong. I am the strong one who never needs help. I am the broken one who never gets a chance. Then every situation becomes evidence to support the role. You don't just feel sadness. You become the sad one. You don't just disagree. You become the one they don't appreciate. The more drama, the more story, the more the ego feels alive. If you start to notice these patterns in your day, past replay, future fear, drama and fixed roles, you're already stepping a little bit outside the ego. Because the moment you can say, ah, this is my mind doing the ego thing again, you're no longer fully inside the trance. That small recognition is the first step in disarming it. The goal is not to kill the ego. Tolle is clear. Trying to destroy it is just more ego in spiritual clothes. The shift is simpler. You see it, you stop feeding it, and you return to the present moment. Here are 3 gentle ways to do that. 1. Name it when it shows up. The moment you notice, replaying an old story, imagining fearful futures, or slipping into a role, no one ever respects me. Instead of going along with it, you quietly name it. This is ego speaking. This is the mind replaying the past. This is a story, not reality right now. You're not attacking it. You're just taking its costume off. The instant you recognize it as a pattern, you're no longer fully inside it. Awareness has stepped in. 2. Come back to the senses. Ego lives in thought. Presence lives in direct experience. So when you feel yourself getting pulled into noise, gently return to your senses. Look around the room, notice shapes, colors, light. Listen distant sounds, close sounds, the space between them. Feel your feet on the floor, your hands, your breath moving. For a few moments, let the world be exactly as it is, without adding a story. This doesn't solve every life problem, but it does something powerful. It shifts you from me and my endless thoughts to awareness simply here. That is the space the ego can't control. 3. Pause before you feed the story. The ego grows when you act from it, sending the angry text, spiraling into overthinking, chasing validation, starting drama to feel important. Tolle suggests inserting a small pause. When you feel triggered, before reacting, ask, from where am I about to act? Ego or presence? Even if you can't be fully present, you can often sense tight, defensive, I must prove something, ego, slightly more spacious, grounded, honest presence. If you're unsure, do nothing for a moment. Feel your breath. Let the first wave pass. That tiny pause is you stepping out of automatic ego and into conscious choice. You're not trying to be a perfectly present person. You're just training yourself to recognize ego's pull and return again and again to the simplicity of this moment. Ego doesn't disappear because you watched one video or read one book. You'll still have moments where you replay old conversations, worry about the future, slip into I'm right, they're wrong, or feel that need to be seen, praised, defended. The difference now is awareness. You start to notice, oh, that's my ego wanting to be special. That's my ego building a victim story. That's my ego trying to escape this simple moment. And in that noticing, something deeper in you stays untouched. You can still play roles in the world, partner, friend, creator, worker, but you know their roles, not your essence. You can still have preferences, opinions, and goals, but you don't have to lose yourself in them. More and more, you taste moments where you're just here, breathing, doing what you're doing, without needing to constantly think about yourself. That quiet, simple sense of I am behind all the noise is what Tolle keeps pointing to. The ego may hate the present moment, but the present moment is exactly where you are most deeply alive. As we conclude, your ego will keep trying to drag you into past and future. That's what it does. But every time you notice its voice, come back to your senses, and give this moment your attention, you loosen its grip a little more. You don't have to get rid of the ego. You just have to stop building your entire identity out of it. If this helped you feel even a bit more space between you and the noise in your head, you can stay on this journey with me. Like, comment, or subscribe so we can keep exploring Eckhart Tolle's way of living more in presence and less in the stories that steal it.